Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology.
Welcome back right here on this 10th day of January at 10:13 in the heart of the Riverbend. Joining me now is Father Holtman, Mr. Hanlon, St. Peter's and Paul. How are you guys doing today?
Doing very well.
Wonderful.
Well, you guys have some pretty cool stuff coming your way. Frank Cusumano getting ready to do an event for you guys, and really one of the most historic landmarks in the area, the most historic church in the area, in my opinion, on top of Christian Hill, St. Peter and Paul. And you guys are looking to start your capital campaign to hopefully get this renovated and get some fixes, needed fixes done, correct?
Correct. We started our campaign last June, and we're near halfway to our goal.
Uh-huh.
And our goal is $800,000.
Wow.
So we're doing very well, but we're hoping to do a lot better in the next 6 months.
That's incredible. Did you guys expect it to get that much of a result so fast? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
We're very happy with it.
Yeah,
God is good. I keep saying God is good. People are wonderful, and they're responding. It'd be great if I won the lottery, you know? Wouldn't have to work so hard.
Well, no kidding. If we would just win the Mega Million, we'd be good to go. You know, life's over. That's great. Well, what I think is so cool about this, and what's so special about St. Peter and Paul is, I mean, no matter if you went to whatever church you went to, there's one landmark really, and that's just the building right there on Christian Hill. And I know that there's work that's needed to be done. What's the funds going to kind of directly go to initially?
To begin with, it's just the outside of the building, so the mortar, stonework, stones that are missing that have to be replaced. And once all that's finished, then the problems on the inside of the church can be addressed.
Right, but the mortar is probably the most serious.
The biggest, right.
Yes, it's a 165-year-old building.
Wow.
And when they built it back then, the mortar was not what it is today.
No.
And it's been failing off and on for 160 years, you might say. And through the years, we've done some patching.
Okay.
And we think the patching has covered up some of the real damage, and that's what our real issue is. We need to get to the real damage to secure it before we can consider anything on the inside of the building.
And how long have you guys been working with the church? I know it's been quite a long time, and been able to...
Well, I've only been here 2 years, this
Really?
past July 1st.
I thought you've been here. And see, I think it's just because I don't know if you've just done such a good job, because I thought you've been here forever.
No, I've been here only 2 years as the pastor.
Wow.
But of course, the parish has been here since 1957.
Well, take us through the 2 years. What's blown you away the most with being with Saints Peter and Paul?
For me, it's the parishioners. They love their parish. They're very loyal. They're enthusiastic. They're prayerful. They're devoted to it. They want to keep it going.
I was born there.
Yeah.
And I have 10 siblings, and we all went to school there.
Huh.
My mother went to school there. So St. Peter and Paul's is my home, and it's always been my home, although I did drift away for 40 years when I was at St. Matthew's.
Yeah.
But when St. Matthew's closed, I came back home. And believe me, when you walk in that church, it is home. And anyone has not visited our church should come by for a visit, because it is just a wonderful place.
And like you said, the community involvement with the parishioners in the church is what blows me away, because, I always tell people I kind of had the hybrid. I would go to St. Mary's and St. Peter and Paul for different masses when I was a kid. And, just to see it at Christmas time, just the inside so, decorated and just looked beautiful, and just highlighted just the great work the community has with St. Peter and Paul. By the way, SSPAlton.com will give you all this information. That's SSPAlton.com. You can find out everything you need to do to get involved. Now, what are ways us locally, how can we get involved to help raise awareness or even raise funds? The floor is yours, Senator.
Well, what you have to do, you get on our parish website. There's a video on there that kind of shows what needs to be done to our church. There's also some parishioners that have been interviewed, long-time parishioners, and they'll give you a little insight about our parish and about the St. Peter and Paul's is actually the anchor of the Christian Hill neighborhood.
Right.
We wouldn't have Christian Hill if we didn't have St. Peter and Paul's.
No.
In a lot of ways. And then also we have a Facebook page, and please get on our Facebook page, look at some of the things that are on there, and make comments. That's where you can really find out what's going on and how you can make a contribution. really the most important thing is our website, ssppeterandpaul.com. That's where a lot of information is.
And, so far on this, journey that you guys have been on, because it is a journey to get these funds kind of, built up and kind of get this going, what have been some of the ways that, maybe you've really just kind of, maybe it's been a hurdle or something that's kind of gotten thrown in your way, and just I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase this, because you guys have done such great work, but every once in a while there goes peaks and valleys. Have there been some of those obstacles in your way? Have there been any, shortcomings, or have there been really just a lot of blessings been thrown at you guys the last couple of years?
I say with our parish, a lot of blessings.
A lot of blessings.
Unfortunately, the economy the way it is right now, people's monies don't go as far as they were
Right.
a couple years ago. That's been a challenge.
And that's another thing that people, sometimes keep forgetting. A lot of times people are a little bit, not as affluent as they were before the pandemic and before, things shut down. But do you think the involvement, the awareness that your parishioners have raised, has that kind of blown you away with just the amount of support that you've received?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And just even on a weekly basis, they're very giving in the offertory collection. So we have no bills to pay as a sense as we go from month to month. Utilities and everything else that comes along with having buildings.
I'm kind of impressed.
Are you?
Our parish at over $450,000 so far.
Right.
It's primarily been an active campaign for only about 6 months. Our way forward now, we kind of think is possibly some corporate help. Mm-hmm. That's going to be kind of our thrust in the next few months, to contact some of the local corporations, some of the local businesses, and remind them that Christian Hill is a part of the Alton community and a very historic part of the Alton community. And without St. Peter and Paul's, we would not have Christian Hill.
I'm telling you what, I was saying it about a month ago, actually just about a month ago. I was driving up Christian Hill, or driving down it going into the studio, and it just snowed for one of the first times of December, and you see all the lights down there at the bottom of, right in front of the building down in downtown, and you're going, wow. Without St. Peter and Paul there goes the picturesque view of what Christmas in Alton is. I mean, because you see the snow falling on the church on top of Christian Hill. And then, what I think is so great is the community and the neighborhood around it, right there with the neighborhoods. It seems like everyone always has that special place in their heart for St. Peter and Paul, and we all should. I mean, by the way, guys, if you want to follow along with the story and everything that we're talking about, sspalton.com, a great website where it's very informative. And I got to ask you, are there ways? I know you guys have a lot of different, ways to, celebrate Mass and ways to kind of be a part of the church. Is sspalton.com the way to stay up to date with all of it? Is the Facebook page better, or what's the best way to kind of stay involved?
Parish website is the best way,
Okay.
because our bulletin is also on that as well, weekly bulletin.
Okay,
A lot of people like Facebook.
they do.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Facebook doesn't like me though.
And Facebook has comments and some nice photographs and some nice pictures of the parish. That's and some of the pictures go back several years, because there's a lot of old pictures of what it used to be like.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you through this. Have you had people reach out and help you try to take a stroll back through memory lane? I mean, you like you said, you were born at the church. I mean, that's got to be fun too.
We have had some people that have moved away and have made contributions through the Facebook page. That really,
Wow.
I know that the website is important, but it seems like Facebook reaches more people in some ways than our webpage.
Now, through this, has there been someone that reached out to you, that's, maybe sent you an old photograph of past events, from a couple of, years ago, that you were able to go, wow, it's been a long time since we did this, or able to kind of refresh your memory a bit?
We had our dinner last June.
Oh, yeah.
And at our dinner, there were some old schoolmates that came to the dinner that I had not seen in many, many years. And of course, I welcomed them, and I also asked them to make a contribution.
You got to.
Yes. And surprisingly, we've received some contribution from some of the people that are no longer in our community or in our parish. So, we're reaching people outside the area, and we're going to continue to try and reach people outside the area.
Absolutely.
We have reviewed some of the old Marquette High School graduating classes that were from St. Peter and Paul's. We've reached out to some of those folks, and we've received some help from some of those folks. So they're out there, and the old saying is, they may not give until you ask.
That's true.
All you have to do is ask, and that's a real way to do things.
You're right. Hey, if you don't ask, every answer is no, and you're absolutely right. Well, Father, you've had experience, I'm sure, with a couple of different, how many churches have you been able to visit and be a part of and help celebrate?
As a pastor, I've been assigned to 3 different parishes. And we've had a couple diocesan campaigns that we've had to participate in. I've never really had to work in a campaign for the parish itself.
Okay.
Not like this.
So this is new for
so
you,
this is
too.
new for me, yeah.
Well, I got to ask you, with your experience in this journey that you've been on, how has it been to kind of see the community really kind of get behind this? Some past parishioners, even current parishioners, and just individuals that used to go to the school or the education system. That's got to be kind of neat to see that everyone's faith is bringing them together for this.
What I enjoy is people who aren't even parishioners any longer. They still have a love for the parish. Their heart is still here. We have funerals. In the 2 years I've been here, we have people who come back just to be buried here because this is where they started their life. And they might have moved to Florida, California, wherever, but they want to come back here to Alton, to Peter and Paul, to be buried.
And now, this isn't a gotcha or anything. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever had a parish that's kind of similar to that dynamic and that function, or is that kind of new for you too?
It's very new to me.
That's to me, I think, the highlight of the conversation is the special, the X factors of the church of Saints Peter and Paul, because just the atmosphere, the morale, the community around it, to me, that's the bigger story to tell, and the beautiful building too, and the history that holds. I mean, we don't want that to go away. We need to embrace that and celebrate that and kind of, preserve it for 100 more years, 165 more years, because you guys were the first on top of the hill.
And to add what just Father said, I had an older brother and his family were raised at St. Peter and Paul's, and they moved away several years ago. He has since passed away, and his wife has passed away. They were both long time members of St. Peter and Paul's. Well, they were buried from their home church out of town, but I was able to bring them both back to St. Peter and Paul's and have a funeral mass because their family wanted to do that. So that was Father saying, people want to come back home to be buried from our parish, from our church.
To me, there's no bigger testimonial than that. Yeah, I mean, at all. Yeah. And that's got to give you chills up your spine a little. I know that gave me a little bit of chills. Now, with this, are you still looking for event sponsorships for the event with Frank Cusumano?
Yes, the Frank Cusumano campaign fundraising dinner, you might say. Yes, it's going to be February the 3rd. It's going to be at the Best Western Hotel.
Great location.
And and we are still looking for event sponsors. We have a $500 sponsorship available and a $1,000 sponsorship available. And one thing you might consider is getting a group of your friends, 3 or 4 couples. They split it up. They can get a $500 sponsorship. 4 couples, $50 a person. They're in, and they get a special meet and greet with Frank by being a sponsor. And they enjoy the evening with all the rest of us. That's a possibility for that particular event.
And that's just perfect to me because me off the top of my head, so many people, you watch the news stations, you hear Frank's sports hits on the TV, or whether you listen to his radio show. There's got to be a lot of people that want to meet Frank, and to me, there's a great way to do it. Divvy up the workload a little bit, split it up, and then be able to contribute to something a little bit bigger than all of us, and I think that's what's really important.
And Frank is a St. Louis native.
Yes.
Born and raised in St. Louis, so it's going to be a fun evening.
Yeah.
Because we can really ask him questions about old-time St. Louis.
Right, and that's what's so cool about this. It's a different way, and that's what I like with what you guys are doing. I mean, it's a real incentive to go really help support a great institution in Alton, but also provides everyone a chance to really enjoy themselves with somebody who was in the know of every St. Louis sports scene for decades, and be able to kind of relive that and also raise awareness for an awesome church. SSP Alton is the website, and I know that you guys handed me a couple of different things that I think is just really cool. What's been the hardest process of this journey?
Raising money.
I was just saying, okay, that's like a softball, but I didn't know if there was anything.
No, that's it.
It's pretty simple. I was involved with Habitat for several years.
Oh, right.
And I was involved with the United Way for several years,
Gotcha.
so I have some experience with fundraising.
Right.
And really, fundraising is hard work, but it's very satisfying work. Like we mentioned earlier, you just got to ask them for help. And
Yes.
surprisingly, a lot of people have never been asked to consider something like this. And you just say, hey, we're here. We're the anchor of the Christian Hill historic neighborhood. We want to keep our church there for another 150 years. Come on board. give us a hand. And really, I shouldn't say this, and I'll probably catch a little heck over it. No gift is too small, but we prefer large gifts.
Yeah, well, and you know what, though? And to me, I mean, it's a lighthearted, but to me, it's more important than that because, like you said, a piece of Alton will be missing if we don't restore this church. And it doesn't matter what type of faith that you celebrate or practice, it just goes off, basic of fact. I mean, you go down and you see that church and you see it's a part of all of us. Whether we had family that went to St. Peter and Paul, whether we went ourselves, or whether we just were able to walk through the neighborhood and enjoy the scenery and take in some of the great aesthetical appeal of the church as well. I mean, all those aspects paint the Alton picture. We can't let that go. And so where are you guys at? How can corporations reach out to you? Is that a different way to do it?
Yeah, we have our meeting set up tomorrow evening, actually.
Oh, there we go.
And we're going to get together and put together a corporate package.
Okay.
And we're going to start contacting some of the local corporates and some of the local businesses and ask them to consider supporting our campaign because, again, it's really St. Peter and Paul's is the anchor of the Christian Hill Historic Neighborhood.
It is.
And everyone knows where Christian Hill is. And everyone knows at the top of the hill, St. Peter and Paul's is there. So they're tied together. So that's our plan over the next few months to do some corporate requests. And we really think there's people in the community that will step up and help us. And the other thing I want to add is we're going to be successful. Mm-hmm. It's going to be there for another 150 years.
Right. It's just a matter of when we start, right?
That's it, exactly. Yeah. And our plan, we'd like to wrap up our campaign mid-year so we can start on some of the renovations. So that's really our goal, to get to as close as we can to our goal by mid-year so we can maybe get started on some of the renovations because the church is, deteriorating.
Yeah.
And we want to stop that, and we want to continue for another 150 years.
And none of this would be possible if our Bishop Paprocki,
absolutely,
and the diocese was not behind it. It's the old cathedral. The first three bishops of the diocese are buried here. 2 in the church.
Wow.
And then the other one at St. Patrick
I didn't know
Cathedral.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
St. Patrick Cemetery.
There's a crypt under the church. The first
so
2 bishops of Alton.
Yeah. So it's the old cathedral
Wow.
of the diocese. Yeah.
That's incredible. And I guess my little final plug, if a bunch of, everyday citizens like myself, all of us, if we can raise $400,000, corporations, you have some competition. I think we can make a little game out of it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me read that. I got that over here. Sorry about that. To me, SSP Alton, but why don't you just call the parish office yourself? Get to know them, ask some questions, because, sometimes we have a text line here. I've taken a break from reading certain texts because sometimes they're a little bit mean and hateful towards me. But that's when
I can't believe that.
I know.
No.
Well, the nerve of some people.
Never.
I'm telling you what, you guys could make some phone calls, 618-465-4221. That's the number to the parish office. Ask better questions if you think I didn't ask any good ones. It's all good, But guys, seriously.
And they can refer. They can refer to one of us if they'd like to come. If they'd like to come and see our church, call the parish office. They can refer to one of us. We'll meet them there. We'll show them what's going on in our church, and we'll show them what our plans are for the future.
One final question for you. How many are on your team to get this done?
We have about 10 to 12 active parishioners that are on our campaign team.
That is fantastic. And I mean, to me, that just shows the true meaning of what Saints Peter and Paul means to so many people, the church itself, because 12 people coming together are raising, I mean, if you look up, you're looking up at 800,000. That's a pretty scary mountain to look at. But your guys' faith, your guys' passion for the church is providing you guys and propelling you forward to achieving that goal. And once again, when's the event for Frank Cusumano?
February 3rd. Call the parish office. They'll hook you up with it. I think it'll be a fun evening.
Yeah, it will be.
It's at the Best Western, and Frank will be cool, I'm sure.
He will be. And I'll make sure I'll call a few 590 folk and see how he's feeling ahead of it, More information, sspalton.com. That's the website where you can stay up to date on all of this great work. And if you have any specific questions or want to learn more, maybe even tour the facility or see what the plans are, give this number a call, 465-4221. That's 618-465-4221 or sspalton.com. Anything else, guys, before I let you go?
No. Come join us for Mass.
Yes.
Saturday evening, 4 o'clock, Sunday morning, 8 and 10.
Actually, I might take you up on
Sermons
that.
are short, usually.
That's the best sales pitch I've ever heard right there.
And they're good.
And they're good.
Yes.
We're wrapping. That's the best way to end it right here at 10:33. Dallas Smarts with the Alton River Dragons is going to join us after this break to learn how you could become a host family. For more information on the renovation work and how you can help out, sspalton.com. We'll have this interview up at the end of the lunch hour today and the direct link to their website so you guys can help out the great folks across the table from me. At 10:33, a quick break on this 10th day of January. We'll come back for more of our daily show right after this in downtown Alton.